here, Foresty Runner, out in a quite magnificent and stunning Forest of Dean today. The sun is shining, it's about 21 degrees already, it is hot, it's Thursday, it's 9:30 and we're on a long run. Mixing it up this week, long run today, got a 10k race on Sunday, so I want to keep the mileage up. The 10k is not a massive goal race. On the flip side, I did say I wanted to beat 38 flat at the beginning of the year as one of my goals. So, although I won't do that this time, part of me wants to really give it a good go. So, yeah. But anyway, that's a side note. Today's about the mileage, the long run, the heat training. I'm sweating buckets already. I've done 1.5 miles. And today's topic for the marathon training series is nutrition. Now, nutrition is something I've never really taken seriously, which is really bad. But if you notice, if you ever watch my Gloucester Marathon vlog from last year and my Vision 2020 20-mile race video earlier this year, you'll notice that I fade badly at the end of a long race. Anything after 15, 16 miles, well, 18 miles really, I crash really badly. And it's all going to be down to the fact that I don't take any calories on board. I have some gels, but that really just doesn't cut the mustard. So today, we're trying something new, we're trying something different, and we're going to see how we get on. So whilst I climb this hill, I'm going to pan you back to before when I left the house to talk about what I've got with me today on my long run. Right guys, so let's take a look at what we're going to be taking on our run with us today. So as I've just said, I've always struggled with the longer races, taking in calories, fading at the end. It's been a big thing of mine that I've never been able to complete a longer race strongly, namely anything after sort of 18 miles is I kind of struggle. So something I've been working on is working out what I can be taking on my long runs for calories. It's something that I never do, which would explain the fade. And doing a bit of research, you need to be taking in about 200 to 300 calories per hour. Now that does differentiate between each person. Don't take my word for this, it's just something that I've researched a lot and have found out. And as I'm 6'6", nearly 6'7", I'm going to take it that I'm more on the larger end of the spectrum and need to take in about 300 calories per hour. So as you can see here, I've got my 2 water bottles. I normally take these things here, these High 5 energy gels. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have used those. They serve me a great purpose in a half marathon, but they're like a shot of sugar. It's insane. I get this massive sugar buzz when I have one of these things, and then I crash really badly. But I seem to be able to crash and hang on. But for a marathon, I've been using them a little bit, and they just don't cut the mustard. So I remembered that I had some of these bad boys in my cupboard, which I picked up at an expo about a year ago, and I tried them out. And I tried them 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they were absolutely amazing. So I thought, okay, let's give those a whirl. So I've ordered some more of those. Now, as you can see here, the calorie information, let's make sure that focuses. So we're on a 60 ml serving. We're going to get 87 calories here per gel. So in a race situation, I'll be having those every 20 minutes to half an hour, not from the off. So what I would probably do in my race is I will have one before I start, and then I have one at 6 miles, one at 12 miles to try and keep my energy levels topped up. And then when I hit 12 miles, I have one every 3 miles, so 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So I'll probably have quite a few of those. And we'll give that a go because that kind of worked quite well with me for these things, but I got too many sugar highs. In the training I've been doing, I've just been having one of these at 12, 15 and 18. I've been having nothing before, and they've been seeing me through my 20-mile long runs brilliantly. So that's what we're going to try in a race, is one before, 6 miles, 12 miles. I probably shouldn't have them every 3 miles after, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to mixing it with some of this stuff. Now this is new to me, I've heard about it, I have used it. It's Tailwind. I don't know if you guys know what it is, probably a lot of you do, you seasoned runners. But this is electrolytes and calories and endurance fuel. And in these sachets, I don't know if I can get the right place, but I think somewhere, let's put it down, somewhere on here. Yeah, Where is it? There. 200 calories per pouch. So I'm going to take a pouch of this, mix it between these two bottles, split the sachet in half. So I'm going to have 200 calories in a bottle with me, plus these things, which is why I probably won't have one of these every 3. I'll probably have one every 4 miles. So I'll probably go in a race 6, 12, and then 16, 20, 24, and in the meantime having some of this stuff as well. So it's all trial and error, guys. We'll see how it goes, but that's the race strategy and the plan at the moment. Okay, so I hope that kind of explained what my plan of attack is. I know I waffled on a little bit, but for me it's so important. I've failed miserably at these longer distance races 2 times now, and I really need to nail this nutrition. I think it's important that everyone that runs long distance races obviously looks at their nutrition, make sure they're taking on enough calories. It's one of the main reasons why people fade at the end, and I think it's overlooked. We just assume that if we pop a few gels here and there, we'll be okay, but actually your body needs a set amount per hour, and you've got to work with that. So anyway, we are 8 and a bit miles in. It is absolutely scorching. Let's see where this goes. Right guys, we're 13 miles in 1:43:30, so half marathon is going to be about 1:44:30, 1:45. Feeling good-ish. My heart rate's up a lot because it's so hot, but I don't want to speak too soon, but we're doing well. So I'm going to talk to you at the end when I finish the run about what's been going on with the nutrition, but I've been spacing it out a little bit better, and therefore I'm feeling really good at the moment. I'll explain in a minute, but I'm basically ripping a gel and having a third of a gel every mile and just continually drip feeding, plus having a tailwind. So we're 1 bottle down already, we're 1 gel down. That's about 190 calories in an hour and 45, which I know I said I need 300 an hour, but that's in a race mode when I'm going a lot faster. But this is a lot more calories than I'd normally take on for a training long run anyway, so probably why I'm feeling good. Anyway, when I sit down at the end, I'll explain exactly what I did, and let's see how far we can go. Guys, just coming up to 18 miles, feeling tired now. I'm done. The run was good. I dropped off the pace about 16 miles because it was uphill. There you go, there's 18. I dropped off the pace because it was uphill. My heart rate was doing 160, 165, and that's far too high for a long run. So I dropped it back to 8 30-minute mile pace. Still stayed at 155. So the heat is obviously draining me. And the one thing I will give Tailwind a lot of praise, it's been great for me today. The one thing it doesn't do, unlike my normal electrolyte drinks, is quench my thirst. I'm absolutely dying for water. So that's something I'll be doing next time for sure. But anyway, let's finish this last mile off, get to 19. I want to do 20. I could have done an extra mile loop, but as I said, my form's gone. It's not worth an injury, and I think we've pretty much beaten the heat anyway. 19 miles is a blooming good effort. I'm very pleased. Oh, I'm walking like John Wayne, guys. Right guys, we're back in the office now. So let's give it a quick recap on how the run went with the whole nutrition thing. We were talking, quite interestingly, we made some changes on the fly. So I said to you guys this morning that my nutrition plan was going to be X, Y and Z, and actually when we were out there, it was so hot today. I say so hot, a lot of my international viewers in like America, Australia, South Africa and all of those good places are going to be like, I think it's peaking at 25, 26 today, but honestly for us Brits, we just wipe out of this sort of weather, especially going for a run. So got out there and mile 3 I started sipping the tailwind. I thought to myself, every 3 miles I'll have a chug of tailwind, have a good amount, and then because it was just a training run at 12, 15 and 18 I'll have a gel. But I got to mile 6 and I really was craving something. I needed something, it was so hot, so I had a gel. I ripped open a gel and I thought to myself, well, the tailwind was kind of helping, but I needed more than that, so I had a third of a gel, carried it to mile 8, had another third of a gel, carried it to mile 10, had the rest of that gel. That actually worked really well. From miles sort of 6.5 when that first gel kicked in, I felt really good. And I felt good all the way up until mile 15, to be honest with you. So once I'd had that third bit on mile 10, I then had tailwind then every mile until mile 14, because I didn't really want to crack open another gel at that point. So at mile 14 I had another gel, and I did the same again, guys. It worked really well, me having a third of a gel each mile. It felt like I was continually being topped up, and to be honest with you, the tailwind seemed to suppress my hunger feeling, my requirement for more calories. So where I'd normally grab a gel and rip it open and get all of it in, the tailwind kind of suppressed that a little bit, and I felt like I was just listening to my body and it was saying you just need a little bit of something, and by having something every mile, that seemed to work really well. So what I thought I would do was completely different to what I actually did, and it worked really well. However, there are some downsides. I noticed and learned very quickly, and a lot of you guys that use tailwind a lot will know and probably look at me and say what a new mistake, but to be honest with you, it does not quench your thirst. It's a calorie replacement and it gives you electrolytes, but it doesn't quench your thirst. So in this heat today I got to mile 16 and I got really thirsty, and I started to drink a bit more tailwind, but it almost felt like it was making it worse. It wasn't helping the thirst at all. So that was really interesting. And tip number 2, when you make tailwind, and again, a lot of you probably know, be really careful when you're ripping open the packets, because I grabbed the packet, ripped it open, and the powder just went everywhere, all over my kitchen floor, so that was a sachet wasted. So be careful with it. But on the whole, I can safely say it did a good job. It did what I wanted it to do. It clearly helped with the calories, because it made me feel like I didn't need to chug a whole gel in one go, and I ran strong. I ran strong until about mile 17. With regards to today in the heat, my heart rate was about 10 to 12 BPM higher than it normally would be, so I was running in a higher zone than I should have been, and I really slowed my miles back towards the end to just try and drop it down, but I really couldn't shift it from around 160. So again, heat played a big factor. However, we got to 19 miles. I'm absolutely over the moon, to be honest with you guys. 19 miles is something in this heat I could never have done 6 months ago, and if it wasn't for, I'll be honest, if it wasn't for the tailwind and those decent, I'll give them credit where credit's due, those decent gels today, I wouldn't have got as far as I did. Again, having said that, I did not like the taste of tailwind. It tasted weird, so although it serves a purpose, I will continue to try any other products. So guys, if you guys know of anything else I should try, leave a comment in the link below. What do you guys use for your marathon race strategies? Any season marathon runners out there, tell me what you have. I've been using electrolytes, but obviously they have no calories in them. It's just electrolyte drink. Now I'm on to tailwind. I'll try all the flavours. I had tropical flavour today, it wasn't particularly that good, and the flavour was quite wink. I like quite strong flavour. So I'm looking for other things. There are a couple of others I've got my eye on that I will try. But hey, it did a job and I'll suck it up and drink it because it works. So anyway guys, that is my planned marathon nutrition, and then on the fly today that will change. And I think, to be honest with you, if I've got it on me, I'll see it as having like my body armour with me, and I will use it where I feel I need it. I listened to my body today, and listening to my body enabled me to get to 19 miles in this heat, which I'm absolutely over the moon with. So that is my tip, video, discussion, talk on marathon nutrition. We'll see how it pans out on the day. It's going to be 3 weeks this Sunday. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video guys, please give it a like, share and subscribe. I know it's been a bit of a long one. Thank you very much for bearing with it. We've got a 10k race around Gloucester on Sunday, Gloucester Quays, around the docks area, which is going to be beautiful. It's going to be flat and fast. Stay tuned for that video early next week. Till next time guys.